Hey guys, it's that time of year already, isn't it? Unfortunately, I'm working on another bigger video for next year, so I didn't have much time to make a dedicated Christmas special, so this is kinda it. But hey, I decorated, and by that I mean I paid my friend Jacob to decorate. I mean, it's a lot easier to decorate in Dream World, so it's not like it took them that long.
I don't want a lot for Christmas.
So, what do I talk about? I can't just have a festive decorations in my house and expect that to be enough. Did you guys know I'm back from Tennessee? You already know that because the Bluey videos come out already. But I went to Tennessee for a wedding. Saw some of my family, made a new friend. It was cool.
You're not gonna come to live, are you?
Well, while I was there, I saw something very close to where we were staying. Dave & Buster's. Now, you may find this hard to believe, but I have actually never been to an arcade before. Never. I always thought it was cool and I wished I had one in my hometown, but I never went to one in my life. The closest was going into Gameplay and Walmart they used to have in their stores. Does anybody remember those, or am I just really old? I went to one as well, going to a laser tag place, but I barely played any games. So when I saw Dave & Buster's, I immediately went, Yes! 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 Because I wanted to experience what an arcade was like, because as your local video game fan, I wanted to. But first of all, what is Dave & Buster's? Because some of you might not even be aware of what it even is. You probably saw the sign for it and thought it was just a discount grocery store or burger joint, but nope, it's an arcade. But not just an arcade. It started out as a mix between an arcade and a steakhouse. And yeah, that's what it is. And it's evident just going in. You go into this place and it's like those gas station places where it's like half a gas station convenience store and the other is a Wendy's. It's like it was designed by two people and they smashed the two together. And that's what it is. Dave & Buster's was literally created by, well, Dave & Buster. One specialized in arcades, the other bars. And you would think it wouldn't have made much sense to combine the two, but it totally did in the long run, as it made sense to make arcades appeal to a more young adult demographic. Obviously, kids don't like to go to arcades anymore. They would rather just stay at home and play Fortnite with the bros online. Arcades do still appeal to kids, but it mainly appeals to adults who are nostalgic about the arcade era. And yeah, by making the arcade more of a bar-restaurant type, it made for a fantastic hangout spot for both young adults as well as kids. It's literally the biggest example of opposites attracting, and honestly, it didn't really click with me until I got in. I didn't record footage of me walking in, but I was expecting a more cheap, cozy kind of place. But it was evident by just the front doors, it felt more like a movie theater rather than just some play place, I guess. And yeah, once you go in, the bar is in the middle, the games are on the left, and the restaurant is on the right. And obviously here, I was here for the games. And to be completely honest, I wasn't expecting very many, and I actually wasn't expecting very many I'd be interested in.
Shut up.
I was fully ready to be in there for like an hour and that be it. But after spending 17 credits to try the Star Wars lightsaber game, but I couldn't get the VR headset on correctly, great. I don't think I was missing out on much, as it's just a lightsaber training simulator, and based on some very light research I conducted, I think it's just a stripped down version of Mater Immortal on other platforms. So I might actually check that out later. Still upset about my 17 credits though. Anyway, I walked around the place looking for games to play, and at first it was pretty much what I expected. Just generic games with some licenses on top, like the SpongeBob game and the VR section, which we'll get to later. But then, imagine my surprise when I turned around the corner and I saw...
It's my son! My son!
I didn't even know this was a thing, especially for the US. Yeah, playing it, it's pretty much just Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games on Switch, just in a weird aspect ratio. By the way, this goes for 98% of the games that I'm going to talk about, but of course, I didn't want to keep my phone out and worry about recording while playing, as I did intend to have fun at this place. So I'll be ripping gameplay footage from YouTube to get footage of some of the games. But yeah, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games is just Tokyo 2020, except instead of motion controls, you actually play with your body, with either buttons, your feet, or both. It was honestly pretty fun. There are limited events and you can only play 3, choosing from 5 at a time, I believe. And I thought I did pretty good in them, but it said I was in last place. What's that about? Either way, it was fine. I didn't really want to play again and waste my credits since I wasted them on that freaking Star Wars game. But that's okay, because out of the corner of my eye, what did I see? Deal or No Deal, baby! I have tons of nostalgia for Deal or No Deal. Look at this guy, Howie Mandel. I love this guy. I don't know why, but it did. The game's simple, really. You pick a case at the beginning and you want to hope you picked one with the most amount of money possible. After which you want to eliminate the lower numbers to make your case seem more and more valuable to the banker who wants you to leave with nothing. At least that's how Howie Mandel put it, and at that point it might as well come from Jesus Christ. It's the same thing here, except of course it's with tickets, which I think is a pretty fun idea, and of course I only won 4 tickets. After that disappointment, I took a stroll around the place and saw this really cool Pac-Man table that I've never seen before. You don't really see it on camera, but the screen on this thing looked absolutely amazing, even from the perspective I was looking at it.
Fortnite!
And once again, while looking around to see if there was anything I knew about, lo and behold, I turn a quarter and I see Mario Kart Arcade DX. Again, I want to remind you, I was not expecting anything, let alone a freaking Mario Kart game. Now, I did know this existed, but I thought it was only in Japan. The fact that this exists and I never knew about it is nuts. Downer though is that it only lets you play one track for a whole 7 credits. Yeesh. Don't get me wrong, the game is fun, but this thing really likes to swallow your credits. Along with the next game that was a surprise being here as well, Luigi's Mansion Arcade. I knew a Mario Kart game existed, but I had no idea there was a Luigi's Mansion arcade cabinet, and hilariously, it's right next to the Walking Dead arcade cabinet. And while I was looking at it, I remembered that horrible Walking Dead Destinies game that came out just shortly before I saw this cabinet. Ugh. Either way, I played Luigi's Mansion. It was alright. For this one, you have Luigi's Vacuum where you suck up ghosts, and while the control was plasticky, it was fun to use. Again, kind of expensive because of how fast you die in order to play more, so you have to get more credits, but, you know, to be expected, I guess. One thing that was very cool was that it's not like a regular arcade cabinet. You actually get inside a closed space to really make you feel like you're in a haunted mansion. While walking around trying to find the next game, there was this glass that I thought was showing a 3D image, and I was like, whoa! But then it turned out to be this reflection off the glass. Listen, I promise it looked more convincing in real life, okay? I promise. Well, when you go to Dave & Buster's, you obviously want to see what you can get with your tickets. So I checked the prize pool for a bit to see what all I can find. And my god, the stuff was pretty pricey dicey. I had my eyes set on these Sonic plushes, but there were 4,000 tickets. So I gave up pretty quickly. I did get something, but you're gonna have to wait till the end of the video. I can't talk about that. I gotta tell you about Minecraft Dungeons Arcade. Because much like the chances of Ninjago being in Fortnite, I didn't know it existed. I don't know how to feel about this. I didn't play this, but it's just so weird to me to see a Minecraft arcade cabinet of any sort. I have no idea whether people actually like Minecraft Dungeons or even if it's a good game. I don't know. Minecraft spin-offs just feel like attempts to get more products that have Minecraft on them when one is good enough. But I don't know. Maybe they could be good. Ooh, I'm getting video ideas. But there's no time for that. Because you see, since I had gotten a look at the prizes, I was out on a mission to find the only ticket game that's not rigged. Pop-A-Lock. If you want to win some tickets and Dave & Buster's not cheat you, there's 2 things you go for. The coin machines that you try to rig in your favor, or you play Pop-A-Lock, the only game that actually requires fully on skill. And like I said, I wanted to take home some kind of prize, just for the memory of it all. And I just wanted that Sonic plush that I could probably just get for $20. But then, they just had to have Guitar Hero Arcade to distract me.
Guitar Hero! I was hoping this one was here. Let's see if I'm any good.
This is the real battle of Dave & Buster's. They say they want you to unlearn adulthood, but no, this is worse than adulthood. Because instead of spending the small amount of tokens you have responsibly on games that will actually win you something in return, you gotta keep yourself away from the actually fun games. Like Guitar Hero Arcade. I've wanted to try out the Guitar Hero games, but as they don't sell them anymore, they are pretty hard to find for a decent price. But here you can play it for 7.7 credits per song. I played Slow Ride by Foghat on easy mode as I wanted an easy song for my first time. And Guitar Hero easy mode is literally just green, red, and yellows, and I just couldn't. When I was in the greens, I was great. But when I got to the red and yellows, my fingers would just forget where they were, and I would think that my finger's on red when it's on yellow and just but even though I was playing it pretty bad, I got really into it. Didn't help I sucked. Either way, I played it twice, but I had to get back to my mission. I had to find a Pop-A-Lock and win some goddamn tickets. But to make up for lost time, I guess, I decided to play this block stacking game. 10 chips. Oh boy. I made a fool out of myself, so I wasted another 10 credits, so 20 credits on this garbage. Okay, but it's time to get back on track. But you know, I've always wanted to try DDR, and there's this clone of it.
I have to give it a shot.
Get back on track, Cole! There were way too many songs in the game, and there wasn't a single one I even recognized. I'm assuming from what I can tell that these games are made with certain musicians in mind, and they're a K-pop band, which I have literally no knowledge of besides BTS. But anyway, I was looking through the songs, and it auto-selected one while I was trying to look through the song list, and selected Life is Piano. I mean, hey, I got an A, so that should count for something. I don't have a single dancing bone in my body, but I still had fun with this one, and it kind of makes me kind of want to try DDR now. But okay, it's time to get serious once again. Let's win some tickets. So while trying to find a Pop-A-Lock, I saw this, and I was like, sure, why not? This game is garbage. Despite what you're seeing on screen right now, I don't know if my arcade cabinet was faulty or what, but you cannot move the crane, even though there is a joystick. It moves automatically and you just press the button. I won a few tickets, but I hated this one. And then I finally found it. Pop-A-Lock. I didn't get any footage because I didn't want to lose any focus. I wanted to win tickets. But I'm kind of glad, because I didn't do very well. How many tickets did I get? A, I don't know, because I don't remember. And B, you'll have to wait until the end of the video to find out. Next, I played this Halo game. I didn't last very long in it, but the controls were fun. It had a 2-screen setup and a curve, and I sat on the very left, so it was a little weird, but I managed. I think this would be really fun with 4 players. It was at this point I was starting to feel pretty hungry. It was around lunchtime when I went, but I was having too much fun. I didn't want to leave. But unfortunately, I've been having problems with my debit card because I can't remember my damn PIN number. Who uses PIN numbers anymore? Online stores don't use them, so why would I remember? Anyway, I know you can run debit cards as credit to bypass the PIN, but I remember one time I was getting Luigi's Mansion 3 at a GameStop and they didn't allow me to do that, so I just haven't done that anymore because I didn't want to risk the awkwardness of me not knowing my PIN number. Thankfully, there was one thing on the menu I could afford with cash I had in my wallet, and it was fried pickles. And man, these were perfect. I don't know if I was just extremely hungry or what, but these were amazing and really hit the spot. $9. Yep, not $9, not even a drink. That's what I've noticed about Dave & Buster's. The food is pretty pricey, but I mean, if those fried pickles were anything to go by, maybe the food is pretty good in spite of that price. I don't know.
You can't see, but these displays look awesome. I cannot, but it looks so cool. Like, the colors are great. It's like each little, pixel has its own screen.
Anyway, after that, I reloaded my card with some more tokens, and I played a few more games that I don't really have much to say about. Went for Pop Locket again, still wasn't great. Spun a fidget spinner, I too remember 2017. But there was one thing I knew I had to do. I knew if I left out of this arcade without playing a Jurassic Park game, Matt would kill me. Not that Matt, that Matt. It was fine. I died quickly yet again, but it was still pretty cool for what I got.
Hey, how you doing there, big guy? How you doing? We're cool, right?
Spun this wheel for some tickets, and then I ran out of chips. So after all this time playing, how many tickets did I manage to get? 386. 386 tickets. So after this whole time at Dave & Buster's, what prize do I have to show for it? Blue dice. Blue dice. After $30 spent, $40 including the fried pickles, all I had was blue dice. That's cool. So I had to end this trip on one big, huge bang. I was deciding on what to do, and the only thing I didn't try and was really interested in was the VR. Only thing was that it cost $6 to go on. It's not horrible, but do I really want to spend that right now? I mean, I'm really trying to save up for Transformers. Yeah, okay, that makes my decision. $6, here we go! This was actually my first VR experience, I guess you could call it. I don't know if you would call this a 4D attraction, but I'm not sure. Either way, it was cool. The best part was just making the Autobots and Decepticons feel larger than ever before. Through this experience, it really gives you the scale for how big these robots truly are. And seeing them this way as a fan was awesome. Other parts I remember was there was this one moment where you were tossed into the air and it really felt like it. However, I felt a few times it just shook up the attraction for the sake of it. Like, sometimes the shaking didn't feel authentic, it just made you feel something. But there was this other moment where you were tossed through the air. It really likes doing that. But then Optimus catches you in mid-transformation. It was sick. It was a lot shorter than I was expecting it to be, but for what it was pretty cool. And then I went up and got my dice, and then I left. So, what do I think of Dave & Buster's? It's a ton of fun, but it's not perfect. Oh, and I completely forgot to even mention, the smell was awful. I don't know what it was, but I walked into this place, and the way that I could describe it is like rotten plastic smell. It was bad. A lot of the games I experienced, you could experience at home for far cheaper prices because, you know, you actually own the game. Like, I mean, think about it. For $60, you could get a lot of chips at Dave & Buster's, but at max, I'd say that lasts you about 4 hours. And again, some of these games are designed to kill you instantly, so you're forced to pay more tokens to play the game for longer. If you're going into Dave & Buster's and you want to stay for a long time, definitely go in with a lot more money than I brought in. And try to go in on Wednesdays because there's like this half-off deal thing. Also, consider downloading the Dave & Buster's mobile app. I actually just got 25 more tokens, and I've actually gotten more tokens even long after this visit that I took a few weeks ago. So definitely consider downloading the app if you think you're going to go on repeated visits. And also to give you free tokens for playing a certain amount of games. Like I was almost at a threshold when I went like a few weeks ago. Obviously, this is all to make you stay longer, but I mean, it is worth it. Like, again, if you really love like Dave & Buster's and arcade and stuff, it is definitely worth it in my opinion. And if you see a game that requires 10 chips to play, just go ahead and expect 20, unless you're really good at it. I'm sounding pretty negative right now, so you guess I hate Dave & Buster's, but that's not the case. I don't hate it at all. Practically, yeah, Dave & Buster's can be kind of bad, but the experience of it makes up for it tenfold. Yeah, I could play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for $60 and play it for infinitely longer with both in real life friends that I don't have, or my online friends and single player for as long as I please. But the experience of experiencing so many games, even if they are the same games I already have or based off games I already have with interesting new controllers that couldn't be done in the home, trying out games that I've always wanted to try but are either not available or too expensive, and really just having a place away from home to just chill and hang out. It's awesome and makes it all worth it. However, sadly, there is one thing I didn't get to experience, which is the main reason you want to go to a place like this. And that's, of course, hanging out with the boys. But sadly, I don't have any friends in real life to experience that with. It's such a shame because I feel like if I hung out here with some of my online friends and content creators, we would have a blast. Like just imagine for a second, the whole experience I talked about, but with, I don't know, X-Pool, Dylan, Sonic Show Jaden, Jewels, No-Kai, Matt is No Cuts, Mr. Lag, Shadlift 10, Burger Boy, maybe even V-Meg. But man, a man can only dream. Sonic Symphony and Dave & Buster's Part 2 coming